from the region had for ADE. We know that it made him justifiably proud and happy. As usual, the proceedings were suffused with humour and lightness. Throughout his time with us in Pretoria, we were ever conscious of how much of a family man ADE was. His commitment to his family was clear for all of us to see, and despite our sadness when he left us in retirement, we rejoiced that he would have enough opportunity to spend more time with his family. We now bitterly regret his time was so short. When I personally last saw ADE in Geneva in June 2010, he was excited and happy about his life after UNDP. He was inspirational and determined to assist Nigeria as best he could. So ADE will be remembered by us for many reasons. His sense of humour, his booming voice, his big presence, and the gentleness of a strong person. Perhaps most singular was ADE's sense of justice, humanity, and humility. On many occasions he would remind those around him, and himself indeed, that some of us were more fortunate than others, and that this meant that there was no room for arrogance or thinking that one was better than others, or that what one had achieved was attributable only to one's own efforts. Fortune played a big role in one's situation, and many people struggled through unfortunate circumstances. We therefore need to exercise humility and tenderness in dealing with others, particularly those who are struggling. We owe ADE deeply for reminding us of this. His memory will stay with us and enrich our future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ADE, for this very moving tribute. Maybe, Frank, could I ask you to say a few words?
Thank you, Jan. When I joined Jeff in 2001, there were in climate change what I call the three musketeers. It was Dick Hosier as the PTA, Ade Salau in handling climate change in Africa, and Nandita Mongia handling climate change in Asia Pacific. And then all three of them were controlled by Pat Martin, who basically was the secretary who tried to keep all three of them in line. It was very interesting. All three of them had done a tremendous amount of work on the energy, on the climate change side. All three had very strong ideas, and yet all three of them got along exceedingly well. What Yannick mentioned was very correct, especially on the enabling activities, when countries start to go about these national communications. What was involved? How to prepare these reports. Given that he was a professor, he helped slowly bring everyone on board in the various countries. And this is one reason why I think the countries have felt eternally grateful to him, that he really helped them from the bottom up. Everyone has mentioned his booming voice, his boisterous laugh. When we were on the 10th floor in the Jeff unit, I didn't have to know whether Ade had come in or not. One could hear his voice from one end of the corridor to the other. And this was something that, and one of the things I recall both when he was in headquarters and when he was in Pretoria, his mentoring skills. He was especially good with the staff he was supervising and new staff who came in. He helped bring them on board, explained what was going on, explained the intricacies of climate change, and how UNDP had to operate, and how everything had to be country-driven. And I think for this we owe him a great debt of gratitude. Let me conclude by saying that when Veronica told me several months ago that he was ill in Houston, I called him up at the hospital, and he was very glad to hear my voice. And I said, Ade, I retired before you. I'm older than you. What the heck are you doing lying down on the job? Get up and get out of there. And he burst out laughing and he said, boss, that's exactly what I needed to hear. I'll be getting out of this place soon. Unfortunately, that was not to be. But the memory of Ade will live on, and I offer his family, his children, all our best. We have really benefited a lot from Ade. He loved his family. He always told us about that. And this is something that his memory will live on forever.
Can I ask you to say a few words?
Yes, I'll say a few words. Well, Ade was a very important person in life. He was very nice, very kind, and he was, first of all, I owe him a lot. He took me to Africa for the first time. I was working with African projects, and he said, how come you have never been to Africa? This can't be. How can you do your work? You have to see projects. We're going. And we went. And we went on a mission to 3 countries for like 2 weeks. It was fantastic, professionally and personally. And we really developed a strong bond, and that was something unforgettable. And he was a friend. I think he was a friend to everybody. He didn't make any difference between, messenger or director. Everybody was the same for him. He was very, very unique for that. And he was my financial advisor. I was buying an apartment at the time. He knew everything, day to day, what I should do. He told me to refinance when the rates went down. So he was really a very, very important person in my life. And I was devastated when I heard that he was sick, and I called him. We had a very nice talk, and he was on a break of chemotherapy, so you wouldn't know he was sick. He was his own self, and that was nice.
Thank you very much.
Well, I don't really know what to say, but I just want to thank everybody. Just trying not to be emotional. And I can tell from, it's just hard because it's just my dad, and all you guys are saying all these things, great things about him. Well, I just knew him as my dad, and I'm just grateful and see all this traits and will go down through us. We always knew him as a good father and a hard worker. He works so hard. That's why it's hard, to see that, he never really enjoyed retirement, because we've known him all our lives as weekends working, work, always in the office. Because I remember when I used to live in New York when I was a kid, during the weekends, I came to this office, and this was the weekend. He never stayed home. He was always at the office. I just want to say thank you, everybody. Just thank all his friends and the colleagues. I know he was a great guy, but I'm just overwhelmed by the love and affection. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. My dad would love to see this. It would make him very happy. He's in a better place now. We didn't really think things would be like this, but God does what's best. And I just want to thank everyone for coming, and my dad's friends for coming.
Our ADE would be to have a cup of coffee, all of us together, and a pastry, because that's the type of friendship and the type of get-together that we would certainly like to see. So I would like to invite you to have a coffee and share among yourself some of your own recollections. And we have a unique opportunity also to come to know ADBC and ADME for those who hadn't had that chance before.
Yeah.